Chat, we're doing Dandy's World today. Yes, you can. We'll tell you how. Can't help but feel like you belong here. But I wanna leave, but just gotta leave. You know what? Something's wrong here. And she's watching me, now she's on to me. Find out what's been going on here. Has my prodigy caught up to me? Can't help but feel like I'm a pawn here. Is that honestly when they talk to me? Foxy, Buddy, and Tooth. I can't. I started doing a new like ritual, I guess, before I go on a run now at this point. You guys want to see the ritual? The ritual that I am doing? I'm doing what that Cosmo did. I'm literally doing what the Cosmo did. Also, I'm gonna plug in my keyboard because I don't know how like dead or live it is. Why is it flat? Why aren't you like, oh, haven't played Pebs in a minute. Okay, you ready to use them? All right, all right. Yeah, I just started doing that. I'm waiting for... I wonder if anybody else is gonna join us. I got no clue. Also, today's drink, it's swig. It's called the Ring King. It's good. It tastes like cupcakes, chat. It literally tastes like cupcakes. It's good. It's very good. It is very good. Is Twitch finally working with the viewer count again? Oh my god, I just saw it change. Holy shit, it's finally working again. Like, oh my gosh. Tee. But yeah. I don't see anybody else, so I guess we'll... There are like 3 runs. Holy cow. Should we just join this one? Let's just join this one. They're going this way. Bop. We are in... Ooh. We're going down. I think Roblox might have crashed. Are we stuck in this? That's... Well, what's going on? You will be teleported, I promise. What's going on? Something's going on. Did Roblox crash? Bro's like, don't leave! This is concerning. Oh. No, well, we're in. That was on. First time I do it on stream, and it's like, there's only 5 of us here. There's only 5 of us here. 2 people left or 3 people left because of that. Yeah, we lost a lot of players. So I'm just gonna buy a band-aid. That's all I'm gonna buy. I told them not to leave. Yeah, they didn't listen. Fix you. Oh, oh, Earlier, I was playing as Gordy, and I actually we got to like floor 11 without a distractor, surprisingly. Oh, hey, blood already. He is blocking that way. Oh, who else is here though? I already know it's Blot. Is that who I think it is? Is that Sylvester? Oh my gosh, it is! Look at him! That was loud. Put yourself. Yeah. Oh wait, we don't have a healer. Yummy. And now we're here to stand still and wonder how you feel. This is the one that I can outwalk. Holy shit. Bark. Bork. I wonder how long I can just distract at 3. This is me and my friend. My friend and I are going. We're going places. I should probably put this, because I think someone else is on, like, I think, yeah. Oh, you motherfucker. Bro, he literally spawned right in front of me, too. Why did Roddy take that long to get into the alley? Why did he take that long to get into the alley? I think Gordy wants to give us, like, speed. Maybe. Where's my music? There it is. Oh, I guess not. Hey, Yada. Hi, Rebecca. Yo, you're not really that late. This is the first run. Wink. And Roblox for some reason was being weird. Oh my gosh, I lost my heart. Why are the sounds so loud? Whee! Get to the elevator! What was kind of funny is earlier I said get to the elevator and like, it wasn't on stream or anything, but, whoop. But, honestly, same. But the, entire team went to the elevator and they were like, wait, if we're all here, then who's... I think it was in, what, last night's run, I think? Yeah, it was in last night's run. It was funny because, like, the others were like, wait, if all of us are here, then who's on a machine? And they were like, we gotta send one person out at least. Also, one of my TikToks has been doing, well, it's kind of a, oh shit. Let me have my twisty back, please. Thank you. Shrimpo. Get your ass over here. But one of my TikToks has been, like, going really well lately. Because we had... Oops, sorry, Astro. We had, or I had done, like, the Sin voice, which is literally hold up. Which is literally just this. It is me talking monotonely. And, like, you know, giggle, 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 run. So, weird thing, I'm not comfortable with this, by the way, but someone literally did it on the TikTok. Whenever I did that, like, the video that I did on TikTok recently, that's been doing pretty well. I think it's got, like, what, 5,000 views now? Someone... like, they were like, oh my gosh, I really like your Sin, like, your voice, you sound like Sin. And I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I stream and whatnot, and because I stream and I'm trying to, like, still promote my Twitch. And they were like, oh, my parents, you know, like, they don't like gore, so I can't have Twitch, because, like, if there's anything that's, like, you know, gore, I can't watch it because my parents will get mad. On another video I did, they were like, can you whimper for me? And I was like, what the fuck? Don't ever ask, because they, like, if they were saying their parents are gonna be mad, they're clearly a minor. I am not a minor. Like, I make it clear, I am 19 years old. Do not ask me to whimper. Like, that shit is fucking weird. Oh, Gordy, you need to run. Who ran in Razzle and Dazzle? But, like, someone asked me, like, to whimper, and I was just like, ugh. That shit is disgusting. Like, why would you ask someone to do that on TikTok? On TikTok, of all places. And that was, like, an immediate block, because it was just like, ugh. Like, don't do that. Like, what caused them to even do that? That's, like, ugh. Wait, what happened? But, like, especially if you're a minor, like, don't fucking ask people to whimper. That is just creepy. And if the person does it knowing you're a minor, or, like, especially on, like, a, public, like, platform like that, it's just, like, if they know that you're a minor and they're, like, they actually do it, that's just borderline fucking pedophilic. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, why is Roger, like, taking forever? That's why you're dead! That's why you're dead! I literally gave you ample time. I went all the way around there so that you can run to the elevator. You did not run! Oh my god! Listen, I gave him time. Oh, and then last night I had oh my gosh, so last night I was pretty sure I was getting followed home. Oh shit. Like, that shit was, that was scary. Cause I ride a bike and whatnot, and like, there's like a liquor store and then a dispensary. And this dude literally pulls out of the liquor store, goes onto the main road, and then immediately pulls into the dispensary in front of me. Gordon, you just took... You could have gone this way and ran like that. Okay, thank you. Do I have him? Yep. But, like, whenever he went into the dispensary, he kind of pulled in front of me. because I have a bike and whatnot, and so, like, I have to use the sidewalk. He pulled in front of me, fucking blocking the sidewalk, and then, like, got out immediately. And so, obviously, I'm like, what the fuck? And so I try to go, like, Cordy, what are you doing? So I'm, like, scared. So I go into, like, the neighborhood and, like, set off an alarm for, like, this auto parts center place kind of thing. And, like, then I, like, go home and I'm like, that's fucking weird. But whenever I was turning into my apartment complex, because there's a couple entrances, I turned into one of them. I looked over. His fucking car turned into the apartment complex. And I was like, what the fuck? And, like, I literally, like, I had to file a fucking police report, dude. Ooh, Courtney! Ah! Okay. But, like, that was just weird. Because, like, it was dark. It was very dark outside. And, like, they literally pulled out of the liquor store and then went right into the dispensary in front of me, blocking the sidewalk, and then immediately got out in front of me while he was blocking the sidewalk. So I was like, God, like, I was like, holy shit. Esther just took a box of donuts in front of me. Oh well, I can't really take it anyways. I have a Band-Aid and 2 bucks. I would like to have 3. Gordy. Gotta get Brescia. But, like, I thought I was about to get kidnapped or something. Like, that was honestly, like, either that or, like, I don't even know. It's just scary. And right before that happened, like, you know how, like, especially teenage boys, like, when they're driving on their, like, with their friends in the car, they'll stick their head out of the window and fucking moan. Well, that happened too. Right, like, about 3 seconds before that shit happened. And it's like, ugh. Like, that's creepy. Like, you don't just stick out your head from your car and moan at somebody riding a bike. Like, that's disgusting. Yeah, I, last night was, holy shit. Like, why do men think it's okay to do that anyways? Like, that's creepy. Because your streamer almost got kidnapped yesterday. So I'm gonna, because I did have to file, like, I did file, like, a police report. I was like, hey, I think this dude was following me. Like, I literally, whenever I got into my apartment last night, I literally, like, ran in and locked the doors immediately after, because I didn't know if that dude was following me or not. But it was still, like, scary, and I, like, called my GMO, and I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm trying to, like, contact the resource officer. Like, I'm scared. Because that shit is scary. Like, it's actually scary. And, I actually ended up getting, like, pepper spray, because, you know, I need pepper spray. But both me and my aunt got pepper spray, because, yeah. Everyone at elevator. Oh. Did they save the last for the closest? Or the closest for last, I guess? I guess so. honestly, I guess it's just the city I'm in. Like, it's fucking creepy. Because it doesn't happen every day, but, like, my Gmail was like, yeah, you... Ooh, Eclipse. My Gmail was like, yeah, you need to, like, switch up your path every so often, and so I'm like, yeah. Because it was creepy seeing, like, that dude... Because he got out of his car immediately after, like... He didn't even park his car, like, his car was still running, dude. And I was like, am I gonna get kidnapped? But it's like, dude, why would you immediately, like, what is your hurry? Because whenever I talked to the police officer last night, like, he was like, yeah, I think it was just a coincidence, but it's, like, better to be safe than sorry. And I was like, yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry. What? Excuse me, don't, what? Can I have my Twisteds back? But yeah, like, honestly, it's like, things keep on happening. I'm definitely gonna ask my manager, like, hey, like, I still want to be a cashier and all, but I don't think I can go home whenever it's dark anymore. Because I could have gotten kidnapped. I did have to, like, follow. Your old neighborhood was so boring at Halloween that you had to buy from a store. Oh gosh. Oh no. Yeah, my, like, the experience I had last night was just, like... Because I did end up doing, like, a good run last night. Because I was like, yeah, I can't see shit. Oh, that's where... But, yeah, I, like, called my gym and I was, like, scared, because... That's not fun. Like, that's not fun to go through at all. I'm trying to find whoever else is here. Oh, it's Shrimpo. But yeah, today I literally just, like, hung out with my Gma. Like, me and my aunt, like, got swig, of course, because, you know. Yeah. I got her, because she's got 2 kittens, and they're adorable, they're so cute. But they, like, I gave them, these little, whatchamacallits. They're like the squeeze treats, I guess. And so her kittens' names are like Tiger Lily and Dusty Rose. Dusty Rose is a tuxedo, and Tiger Lily is a little, like, I think it's a calico tabby, because it's a tabby. She looks like a tabby cat, but she's got, like, a lot of orange in her as well. Like, it's like patches of orange. But Dusty Rose, she's the quiet one. You know, she was just licking the treat. Tiger Lily, on the other hand, literally, like, was biting at that shit, and, like, she's the loud one. Like, she's very loud. She's very vocal. I don't think I've ever heard Dusty Rose really meow. But Tiger Lily, like, she'll literally be like, like that. Like, she'll do the long meows. Stamina. And then, I did a run on my phone earlier, and, oh, damn it, I forgot my pizza at my Gmos. I just realized that. Oh, god damn it. Um, what was I talking about? I know I forgot my pizza. What was I talking about? I forgot. Oopsies. Oopsie daisies. Oh, this morning I was doing a run, and, like, we got to floor 11, no distractor, by the way. But I think, like, floor 6, it was either floor 5 or 6, I think. We got Pebble. I was Gordy, and I had no distraction trinkets. Like, none. And so, like, I was like, I'm gonna try doing this. But I actually managed to kite him to, like, keep him away from the others, surprisingly. For the most part. 2, 3, 4, 5 knives. Heard this song in forever either. I am so excited for the next movie. Whee! He is here, he is here. I recognize him anywhere. Whee! Oh my gosh, you're so greedy for tapes. Or is it pumpkins? Are you greedy for tapes or pumpkins, dude? Both. Bro, this extractor pebble does not even have V-mote. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's Glisten. Awesome. It's Rebecca, Sylvester, and Glisten, surprisingly. I can handle Glisten. I just need to get Sylvester real quick. Thank you. Watch out. Got him. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard this song in forever either. I'm like listening to a Five Nights at Freddy's playlist and I'm like, I know this song! Thank you, Coffee Bot! So weird seeing that. Dude, she's got like a fucking ponytail. She's got blue hair and pronouns. Oh my gosh, she got blue hair and pronouns. So, funny thing. I think it was the end of my 6th grade year, but, I had, like, dark blue hair. Follow me, and you'll see. There's a follow. You haven't seen a Jawbreaker in a minute? Oop. Slay! Follow. Follow me, see a nightmare in action. Dun, 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 honestly, I want to hear the Bonnie song again. I haven't heard that one in forever either. Why am I tired? I used to, like, vividly daydream about, like, this song. Like, Woo! Ah! Oh my gosh! that was kind of scary. Why is my college, like, I'm not even in college anymore. Dude. Oh my gosh. Just today alone. Hold up, let me... Wait, actually, it's gonna be in that email. There are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fucking emails today alone. Just from the college. Like, dude. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. Yada. There's a band-aid. I think you took the band-aid. Hey, there's a jawbreaker. Okay, one more. There's one more somewhere around here. Oh, hey, Louie. Oh my gosh, I'm distracting myself. Something is fishy. Yes, something is very fishy. Hello, Astro. Did you know? Astro has 5 stars of stealth. Ooh. Ooh. Haven't heard this one in forever, too. It's like I'm hearing songs that I haven't listened to in forever, and it's like, oh my gosh. Louis dis an odd-looking T-Peb. Yeah, I'm just... This Pebble, for some reason, like, this Twisted Pebble has Star Time skin. I gotta, like, lock in. I gotta be, like... Oh my gosh, low on stamina. Oh my gosh. Watch Astro, like, come over and be like, you're not at low stamina. Oh my gosh. We're all in low stamina. Oh my gosh, I'm at 1 heart. Oh my gosh. Oh! Oh my god, that actually scared me. Oh my gosh. Oh. You get the twisted there? If you get killed on the job. I don't think it says killed, actually. I think it just says... You didn't mean to bark. Oh my gosh. I was like... Whoopsies. It's getting closer. I'm having hallucinations. How much longer till the night is over? Maybe this place is haunted. Stupid mobile. Imagine. Shrimpo! I think I see Brightney. That is Brightney. I'm surprised it's not a, Brightney-induced blackout. Oh, wait, get your ass over here. And it's R&D, so I think we only have 3 this round. Or, round? Floor. Fine. Join me. Kick back and grab a slice. If you get hurt on the job, we will not cover your loss. You'll be fine. This machine needs to be done, Astro. I thought Astro was gonna do that machine. It's easy to do there. So what do I think it is? this. Oh my gosh. Do 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 do. Attention to the horrifying screams. Hiya, Pebble. It's right here. What are you doing? It's right over here. It's right here. Homie, it's right here. So long, so long. Who the fuck else just saw me? What the hell? What? Oh, Gordy was there. I was like, huh? What do you mean connecting to a chat? What do you mean connecting to a chat? I am in chat. It's me, 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 me. Y'all, get to the elevator. They boosted you and then you immediately failed another skill check, bro. I'm right here. With Gordy versus Louie with Twisted, who will win? What? Lonely eyed for so long, there's a bottle pop. But I have both, spend the night. I have both a bottle of pop and a whatchamacallit. I've already got boxed in. There's one more capsule right here. I'm gonna see who that is. It's Finn. I can never see Finn. I'm not able to see Finn. Where is he? There's he. Wait. Ah! Oh my gosh. I looked away for 1 second and he was right there. That was kind of scary. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. That was scary. I need to figure out how to schedule an appointment for, like, my wisdom tooth. Like, to get them all removed, because it's like... Dude, I have a wisdom tooth coming in. Oh my gosh, it's the song that played in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. We're waiting every night to finally roam and invite newcomers to play with us. For many years we've been all alone. We're forced to still 6-7. Monster took our lives away. Now we're stuck here to decay. Please let us in, don't lock us away. Again, we're not pencils. How are you brighter than I am? How are you brighter than me? How are you brighter than me? How are you, legitimately, how are you brighter than me? Is this where you wanna be? I just don't get it. Why do you wanna stay? Five Nights at Freddy's. Where's Astro? Woo! Oh my gosh, I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah. Wait, why does it say 249 now? I just noticed that. What the hell? Did I lose a follower? Did I lose a follower? What the hell? When did that happen? Oh, hey, Astro. My god, I can't see it all. Okay, Astro, Yada. I can't see shit. I see there's 2 machines right there, though. Oh, there's actually 3. I already know it's Astro. I have him on my tail. I already have Yada as well. Oh, hey, Russia. I feel like we have a 4th one. It's either this floor or next floor. Oh, no, it's this floor. I think. Unless if Gordy was, like, right there or something. Oh, Gordy is right there. Oh, wait, no. Maybe. No, but it's just Russia. I can't see shit. This light bug, it feels like it's gotten a lot worse. And now it's just like, holy shit. I can't see anything. Six, 7. Oh, I was thinking the elevator was over here. That's not the right elevator. That's not even an elevator. Pebble, Pebble, you're so cute. How could you pick Sparkplug over Suppression? How could you? How could you? I can't believe you. Excuse me, what? These guys aren't even watching the stream. They're probably like so confused. They're like, why does this Pebble have beef with Louie? God fucking damn it. Well, there goes my band. Oh, I have 3. Oh yeah, there is 4. Where? Oh, it's by fate. Oop, that's a leak. You get your ass over here. I will gladly go grab that. I would like to have that band-aid, please. Okay, I got those. I got them all. Dying curse. Oh, by the way, there's like a machine in that corner right there. Just so you know. Dying. Yep, you got it. Oh my gosh, I love this song. There is no time for introductions. Was the one that made us. You'll be the one to save us. Underground. Welcome to the circus. 6, 7. Down. Aren't you feeling nervous? His voice means to deceive you. My voice just wants to lead you. Oh my god, I got another fucking email from the college. Dude, that makes it like, what, 10 to 12 at least? 12 just today. That's starting to piss me off. Like, genuinely. This machine. Have you seen me miss like 20 skill checks? Probably. Anyone on last? Oh, yeah. Whee! Whee! Bop. I don't think they're coming, bud. I lost them. No, don't grab the- get in. Jeez. Oh, hey, there's a bottle of pop. I think I've only gotten hit like twice, which concerns me because it's like, what's next? There's a shadow on the wall. I'm gonna try like, cause I got one of the ones with this. I'm gonna try putting this where like my wrist sets. Because I think I can deal with my mouse being on, like, this surface for now, but, like, my wrist, it's, like... Ugh. Don't run in R&D, don't run in R&D, we are out of R&D, it's safe to run. I need to find one more. Ooh, it's my favorite one to pop! My ears! My ears! Oh my gosh, my ears! My fucking ears! It looks like there's only 2 over here, and none of them are by Roger, so we shouldn't have too much of a problem with people walking into Roger's place. Tee. Hey kids, nice to eat you. My ears. My ears. Oh shit, Brusha, no. Brusha, no. Brusha, no. I'm gonna be honest, I had no clue where Gordy was. Why is everyone but me getting extraction speed by Gordy? Oh gosh. Because it's like, no, you need stamina regen or speed. You gotta get speed. Oh shit, this is good elevator. I thought the other one was good. I didn't realize that was good elevator. Whoopsies. We're just gonna casually go over here. It's... Oh, that's Gordy, that's Gordy, that's Gordy. Oh shit, 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 shit. Freddy's face, face. I want those pumpkins. I'm gonna grab those pumpkins. Oh, wait, 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 wait! Come on, let me get that pumpkin, please. come off again so soon again. 40, wait. 40, get your ass into the elevator. Damn. Me apart. Hey guys, guess what? Hey guys, guess what? No. I'll be honest, I thought that the, like, the guitar solo was better than it actually is. No. You better not be going AFK at this point. Oh my god, no. This is worse than the dial floor. I'm scared if you do that. I got $2. I'm okay. Just do this machine, please. Thank you, Astro. I'm scared. I would be scared for you. Eyes, I'll be your demise. Another reason is mainly because, like, we got, this is probably one of the worst maps to, diss him, because the only good distraction spot here is probably, like, here, where I am right now. Maybe if we get him on Astro's map, that'll be a little bit better. No, that's not even right. Astro, please go do the machines. I don't want to accidentally turn a corner too quick. Bear. What? No. I think bro is freaking out because of my stamina. Oh my god. Please, this is going to kill me! Oh my god, this is literally going to be the death of me because they're literally trying to get the others. I know how to jungle kite. Song for you. I'm not doing that. I already have a band. Just hurry up and do these goddamn machines. my god. I know what I'm doing, guys. God damn. I know what I'm doing. OMG, good job, Louie. It's not my first time dissing Pebble. It is not my first time dissing Pebble. Fuck, I can't say Twitch. Oh my god, again. Well. Thank you. And there's Roger. Dude, I'm not even a half. Can someone tell Astro to please go do the machine so it's faster? Not like that. Like, probably a little bit nicer. Oh shit. Oh shit, I am so sorry. Oh shit, I accidentally gave Gordy both. Oh fuck, oh fuck. Oops. Oh, I got Pebble again. I guess... Thank you. Oopsies. Hey, Pebble, can you get them back for me, please? Or do you want to take the others? Thank you, Ko-Fi Bot. Oh, there's Sprout. And... oh. I guess bro was on cooldown. Thank you. Just hurry up and do that last machine. You gotta go. Damn. Whew. Damn. I gotta see if it's Pebble before I actually go and, you know. Oh my god, I got another fucking email from this college. Holy shit. I'm about to log out of this fucking account. I swear. Okay, it's Sprout Floor. Is Pebble here again? It's Louis. Louis, Cosmo, Brightney, Rebecca, Boxton. We might have one more. I don't know, though. Because I got 5. There might be 6. But I don't hear any mains or twisted pebbles, so I might be able to just... Because Rebecca's already on me. We got Louis. Oh, hey, there's a medkit. Don't mind if I do. Why the fuck did I just pick that up? I fucked up and I took that. No, 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 stop, 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 stop. Do not do that. Oopsies. I just wanted to use that fucking thing, not use the medkit on top of that. Why'd you have to go immediately and do a skill check, you asshole? I think since there are a lot of machines over here on this side, I think Gordy's over there. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and go in the courtyard and distract there. Huh, I don't expect this run to last long since there's only 5 people because other people got impatient and left. I'm only gonna buy a band-aid and that's all I'm gonna buy. Holy shit. And then we look at the fucking floor number and we're at floor 19. $19 Fortnite card. Who won it? It'd be cool if there was like a stat on how many, like, what of each item you used. Yep, there's my half-completed machine. Get to the elevator! May you stop getting in my way. Patience not gonna decay. DK, wait, yarn. I hope you die in a fire. Dude, what the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? Why did you do that? You were in the elevator. Yeah, you're a pro distraction. On the purple thing. Oh my gosh, it's Gordy and R&D and Rebecca and Poppy. Oh my gosh, who else is here? I am on fire. Is that Roger? No, that's not. Glisten's here! Oh my god. Bro, what the fuck are you doing here? Homie, why are you here? What the hell? Brother. So... Listen, Rebecca, Gordy, Poppy... There should be at least one more normal common twisted. Are we gonna let him pop? Okay, I'm gonna grab it. Oh, and R&D. So there's at least 5. What's your YouTube name? I said the purple thing. It's Twitch. Yeah, because I'm definitely gonna need that. They want me to... Oh, wait, shit. Oopsies. Well, if we're gonna have Gordy pop, why... Like, might as well just have both of them pop at once. Like, might as well just have both of them pop at once and then just, like... Why is there a gnat up here? No, get back your ass up. Back your ass up. Back your ass up. No, 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 no. Stay away from him. Stay away. Stay the fuck away. Stay away from him. Oh my god. Brother. Back away, please. Oh my god. You took my goddamn twisteds. Guess I can't jungle distract. Oh my god. Oh my god. Gordy's almost dead. Gordy's gonna die. Wait until panic! Jesus fucking Christ, is it that hard? Oh my god. Do the fucking machine or I will literally kill myself in front of you! Legal purposes, that was a joke. Legal purposes, that was a joke. Dude, give me fucking stamina! Brother, give me stamina! Astro! Oh my god. Oh my god. We got to floor 20. We got Gordy. He's not doing the fucking machine and he's not even giving me a, like... Low on stamina. I will fucking die. At this point, I don't fucking care anymore. I'm doing the fucking machine. No, I'm not gonna give you my fucking friend request, dude. She has to go. Well, I'm still trying to play, dude. God. No, I'm not giving you my YouTube now. I'm not giving you anything. I'm not giving you damn shit. Dude, what the fuck was that? I was low on goddamn stamina and they just fucking ignored me. Still am low on fucking stamina. Oh my god. Like, Jesus. Ugh. I'm getting this. I'm getting past this shit ass floor. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. First off, Gordy gets in the goddamn way because he wants to distract Glisten. Ugh. Fuck you both. God damn. Dude, why is your attention span so goddamn high? Why are you still chasing me? Don't you dare come into this room. Okay. God damn. First off, Gordy gets in my way, takes all of my Twisteds from me, by the way, just so that he can, like, get Glisten, even though Glisten's about to pop. I was okay with Glisten popping because, oh, they're not gonna... Don't you fucking know? You bitch. You bitch. But, like, dude. Oh my god. She has to go anyway. Okay. Don't fucking take all the Twisteds from me. Oh my god. Fuck it, we're doing Dial's floor and we're fucking dying. We're dying to this shit. That ABC for Gordy Hunt. Don't leave when you have a good team. Don't try to friend me when you fucking, like, mess up my distracting. Brother. Ugh. Like, I was low on stamina. Astro can see that I was low on stamina, too, by the way. Astro has their ability, you know. Yep, Blackout. Come on, Dial. Come on, Dial. Where are you? Gotta find you. We're recreating my first ever Dial encounter, guys. Oh my god, he's fast. Oh my god, he's fast. Oh my god, he's fast. Holy shit, he's getting faster. Oh my god. Where the hell is he going? Brother. Dude, I'm literally giving you a free kill. Get your ass back over here. Oh my god. Dial, I'm literally giving you a free kill. Get your ass back over here. Oh my god, he's fast. Oh my god, there's a speed candy. Dial, get your ass over here. Yep. Oh my gosh, he's fast. He's so fast. Oh my gosh, I am panicking. Bitch. Bitch, I'm trying to distract you, bro. Get your ass back over here. Where the fuck are you? Yeah, get your ass over here. Boom. There. Oh my gosh, it's like, bro. I distracted Pebble twice. I distracted Gordy, like, one time. And I distracted Glisten. And then Gordy decides to take everyone from me and make me lose all of my Twisteds. What's your YouTube? I said purple. Is YouTube purple? No. YouTube is not purple. YouTube is red. But, like, oh my gosh. Ugh. That run pissed me the fuck off. I'm not gonna lie. My filter is gone. Like, if I even had a filter, it's gone. It's gone. This fuck-ass run I just joined. Like, the moment Pebble left, it went to shit. It just went to shit. Yeah. Yeah. That run, oh my god. I don't want to play with another Gordy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to play with Gordy. Unless if I know the person playing as Gordy, I don't want to play with Gordy. They don't know their stealth. They don't know they have the smallest tiny stealth. And so they immediately go and fuck things up. I can technically get 2 skins. Oh, I already got that. I want a Louis skin. I really want a Louis skin. Who all can I get anyways? Because I know I've got all the mains now. I can get both Tegan and Gigi. And then all I have to do... I'm not gonna do both of those. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to play as Yada. What do I have left on her mastery anyways? Survive 20 floors, pick up... Okay, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. Are you in? No, you're not. Hurry up. Get in the run. Ugh. That fuck at... Oh. Dude. Oh my god. Gordy literally, like, we got to floor 20. Gordy literally got in my distraction way when Twisted Gordy popped, basically. And I shit you not, this fuck-ass Gordy took all of my Twisteds. I had to try to get Gordy back. I got Gordy back. Reason why? He was trying not to get, like, have Glisten pop. And I'm like, what the f... Glisten's right there next to me. I am literally distracting around, like, I'm distracting away from Glisten, because if I can take Gordy, if I can take Pebble, I can take Glisten. I can literally take Glisten. I took Pebble 2 times that round. In a row. Like, what makes you think I can't take Twisted Glisten that's shattered? Shattered Glisten. Like, bro, oh my god. I don't make sure, like, my nose ain't bleeding or anything. Chica's tweaking out. I'm also tweaking out. I am pissed off. I am crashing out, actually. Don't want to play with another fuck-ass Gordy. I do not want to play with another. I'm not joining that one. Fine. And if it doubled... Oh. Yo. Okay. And if a double-decker bus crashes into us. I don't, you know what? You better be a good Gordy player. You better be a good Gordy. Please be a good Gordy player. I'm dissing. I'm dissing. We have the same, like, I can distract as Gordy. I think I got... You want to see everyone get hit? Oh my gosh. Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna be Extractor, Yada. Yeah, you know what? We gonna be Extractor. Because apparently people cannot function without a fucking distractor. And even then, they get in the distractor's way, you know. Unequip, loadout 2. But we're gonna switch you with you. We're gonna get a valve. There we go. I know someone's gonna say, who dis? Who distracting? Watch. And if someone fucking voluntells me to distract, I'm gonna crash out. Where'd my music go? I think we're at the end of the playlist, actually. Let's go to this playlist, then. And... yeah. Also, I don't think I like this Gordy skin, I'm not gonna lie. Why are there so many Rogers? That concerns me. Oh, hey, there's Yada. Why are you still chasing me? Get away from me. Back away. Back up. Back away. Damn, y'all are all on fucking machines. Where is a machine I can do? Finally. Dude, that's fucking Gordy. Brother. I think Gordy just died. Ah! Yeah, Gordy died. Gordy died. Gordy is fucking dead. Let's all be Roger, not tell the purple ones. Let's all be Roger and not tell the purple ones. Oh yes, the two other outcasts. I don't know who this person is, but we vibin'. No. Not you two. You. We vibin'. We vibin'. I think we're the only two with B-motes. Did Roger leave? 4 of y'all got into the elevator. 3 of y'all are walking out of the elevator. Give me that. I see flutter. As your father, I expressly forbid it. As your father, I expressly forbid it. I'm your dad. As your father, I expressly forbid it. As your father, I expressly forbid it. As your father, I'm sorry, Roger. You cannot be taking those fucking twisteds to me. I'm sorry, guys. Well, Boxton's dead. I fell in your arms. Yeah. Oh my god, Boxton's alive. Dude, these fuck-ass Rogers are just dying. They are dropping like flies. Imagine the Roger that died just now was like one of the Rogers that died is the one with like the fucking clown horn, which actually gets you. I think this is his active floor. Oh my god, he's still alive. Arms tonight, it was nice, but hey, you, don't you think it's kinda cool that I... Alright. I want to see how far this fuck-ass run is gonna get us. I like that Gordy was the first one to die, by the way. Gordy, the fastest one here, by the way, was the first to die. Or what are y'all at? Y'all are both at 3. Let's go gambling, guys. Let's go gambling! Hey, you, don't you think it's kinda... I got a speed candy. Hell yeah. I tried your arms tonight, and I died in your arms. Can you what? Huh? Can I what? Can I what? In your arms that I... What the fuck? What do they mean, Abaddon from, whatchamacallit? Haunted Hotel or something? I think that's what it's called. I don't know. You got power, but you're gonna use it in a different... Don't do it. Don't do it. I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're gonna try to do. I'm scared. I'm very scared. Whee! Wait, nope, I gotta get to the, not chat. Get to the elevator, guys. You guys are slower. In your arms tonight. I remember when, Mateo. Fuck. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I was out of stamina. Oh my gosh, we're at floor 4. Give me that box of chocolates. Dude. I know I'm vibing with you right now, but I don't know, like, how good of a player you are. I genuinely don't know what kind of, like, player you are. I think it's time for you to know the awful truth. And the truth about me and the truth about you, 'cause you're a brand new species. Big cat. Uh-oh. Space Nazis. Robert. Someone left. Boxton left. I shit you not. This is... Was that a box of chocolate? Oh, Yoda! Or whoever else is here! Hit me. No, you hit me. Where the fuck? Oh. Thank you. I think I'm the only one that knows where this fucking box of chocolates is. Oh gosh. Did you not buy your starting items? Either that or like you fucking use them all. I think she might be able to drop 3 actually. Dude, fuck you. Fuck you, Cosmo. How'd you see me? Everybody's gonna hear me out, 'cause I'm the right one. Cosmo's in this room, isn't he? Oh my gosh, he's not. AM radio. Why is my skill check so tiny? Oh wait, never mind, I have the magnifying glass. It's like, why is it so tiny? I wonder why. Don't hang up yet. I'm not done. Oh fuck. I'm an expert. I'm the one who was right all along. Better to be laughed at than wrong. Fuck you, you fucking bitch. Yes, it's all real. Ancient aliens, it's all true. I'm an expert just like you, and like you, I'm a genius. Before my time, disbelieving that's the why is it so tiny? Discover me. I try to call you every day. What can I say when the truth comes out? I've been working on a unified theory. If I make it through tonight, everybody's gonna hear me out. I'm the right one. Stone telephone. I'm the only one on your AM radio. We're at floor 5. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, more stamina. Yay. Where am I at? Oh yeah, we don't have a Louis. Gotta lock in. Nah, I just gotta make it seem like I, ain't, you know. Okay, I'll emote these, and then... Candy, candy, candy for all! I forgot how slow it was without, like, you know, a distractor. Whee! Boop. I thought that was another box of chocolates. This literally reminds me of whenever Salem Cat was crashing out, because there was a Yada in the run where I was distracting and like they were extracting. There was a Yada in the run, and I kid you not, that Yada was like doing all of the machines and they didn't have time to get to the other ones. I could have sworn Dog Plush gave 15 instead of 10. For me, it always gave 10, at least. Am I about to do all 4 of these machines on this floor? It looks like it. Follow me, follow me. Roger shall burst? I don't think I see him at the elevator. That's concerning. Yeah, he's not at the elevator. He did not get to the elevator when I said- oh, he did. I did all 4 of those machines, by the way. He's been at one, like, for a really long time. He has been at one, like, this entire round. I'm hitting the gritty, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm hitting the gritty. I'm literally hitting the gritty. You gotta hit the gritty with me. Oh my gosh, one comment at 36 likes. Holy shit. Yep, someone else said I'm Sin. Sin, is that you? Sin, is that you? Giggle. Tee. Oh no. Russia's on the floor. Really, I'm gonna... Watch out, watch out, watch out. I need to get one of these and Vimo that one. Dude, you had that one over there. You had that one over there. Homie. There's one right there, though. Excuse me for my late... Hello! I just got to floor 20, and then this is my second run. Mind you, there was a Gordy that I guess was trying to distract. He died like floor 1. Boxton left. 3 of the Rogers died. This is Roger number 4. I shit you not, it's just us two. Man, I'm about to just boom. Did I get anything good for you? Dude, I'm trying to get you a box of chocolates, man. Get a box of chocolates, man. Here's some. There we go, there we go, there we go. Oh. Well, he couldn't get them. No, bro said no. Dude, did you want to spend 2 hours on... Dude, all you see... Jawbreaker, 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 skill check candy, extraction speed candy, stealth candy, gumballs, 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 chocolate, chocolate, chocolates, stamina. Box of chocolate. Oh fuck, I didn't use my boxes of chocolate. Oh my god. I literally left an entire, like, crime scene behind. Imagine if that was, like, 8 Yadas. Like, just a full run full of Yadas with, like, medkits, like the starting band and medkit, and then you all just die at the same place. That would be hilarious, just to see how many, like, how much chocolate and everything there is. I need a Louis. Actually, I think it might just be Louis, actually. Hello! Yo! Hello! For some reason, whenever I started the stream, I guess, like, it went, my follower count literally went from, like, 249, or 250 to 249 again. And I'm like, did I lose a follower? Like, what? Huh? Like, what? What? What do you mean? For some reason, Okay, I'll wait a second. Who's sitting next to you? Or in your soul? Oh, this dude has ad blocker. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. You can hear everything I'm saying right now, especially whenever, like, when they were doing, like, a curse counter and, like, the moment an ad, like, came on, someone was like, no, ad! And then all I went was fuck, 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 shit, 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 bitch, 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 and that's all I did. Like, that's literally all I did. It was really fucking funny. Is anyone else in chat gonna join? If you guys are gonna join? Little birdhouse sitting next to you. No? What do you mean no? We gotta invite all of our friends. Like, literally all I went was like, fuck, 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 shit, 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 bitch, bitch, bitch. That's all I went. Watch him come back and be like, the first thing I heard was just fuck, shit, and bitch. I can see them typing that right now. No. Let's start a, like, pro run. Haha, pro run. And then I gotta, like, copy it because I'm not typing that again. Birdhouse and like... Why did you meow? Why have you meowed? I'm scared about this Roger. I'm scared. Oh, I really want to get the Gordy hoodie. I want to get the Gordy hoodie so badly. I'm not gonna lie. There is... Okay, we are going to go to Sproutivator. I was sitting next to you, so... I think everybody joined. That Roger didn't end up joining. Yeah, everybody that I wanted to join at least joined. Birdhouse sitting next to you. You was drinking tea, you almost didn't make it. Oh no! What are my trinkets? Okay, I got my normal distracting trinkets, so we gonna get the med and ya. The med and ya, that's what it is. I built a little birdhouse. Called the blood of the exploited working class. Now that they've overcome their shyness, now they're calling me your highness. The word says, kiss me, son of God. Come on, guys. What is this Yada doing? You could have saved a trinket slot, homie. You could have saved a trinket slot. You could have just used, like, dog blush. Okay, I'm worried about this Gordy right here, because I played with you. We had a run last night. But I'm scared about this Gordy, because I just had a fuck-ass run with the Gordy, trying to, like, take all my twisteds whenever we were at 420. I literally got two. I got two. Bro, what are you doing? Bruh. Ah! I built a little pyramid of something blood. Oh, Pebble and Astro combos are fuck ass. They suck. Come on, there we go. Kiss me, son of God. Yes, the world screams, kiss me, son of God. Totally didn't panic. I also panicked, dude. Oh, what floor did we make it to last night? Like, what, 26, 28? I don't think we have any sprouts, so I can just lose them at the panic. There we go. You are a greedy motherfucker. Oh my god, the greed! The greed is sickening! The greed is sickening! Oh my god! I gotta promote myself. What am I locating? What? Allah didn't tell me Q you are your ha 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 ha. I got extraction speed. Oh my gosh, I'm distracting myself. And I see Brightney over there too, so I gotta get her. You get your ass over here. You wanna stay the fuck away, please? Please. Okay. And I can kind of distract right here. On this map, this is like the only like place I've noticed that I can actually like distract Pebble. Because I can like kind of jungle kite like around here. The greed is sickening. Guys, get away! Get away! Get your asses in the goddamn elevator! Holy cow! The greed is sickening! The greed! The greed is sickening. The greed is sickening. Oh my god. Oh my god, we have a gambler. We have 2 gamblers. We have like multiple gamblers. Holy shit. Did someone leave? Oh, someone left. Wait, which one left? Can you stay in alley after getting aggro? Holy, oh shit, yeah, we got speed. Oh, got Rebecca. I cannot see shit. The shit I can see is none. Yada. Please don't hook them onto Gordy. Oh my god. Can I have my Twisteds back, please? Dude, turn a corner, please. Please. My Twisteds. My Twisteds. Please, can I have my Twisteds? Oh my god, thank you. Bro, you are like immediately getting... I give up. I give up. My Twisteds have been taken. I have 0 tapes, guys. I'm out of tapes. I'm all out of tapes. Got no tapes. No, 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 no. I am a greedy motherfucker with heals at this point. Oh my gosh, again? Are you fucking kidding me? Roger's here. I can pop him. Oh my gosh. Where's Roger? Where's Roger? I must pop him. I must pop him. I must pop him. That's not Roger. That's just a Roger capsule. Where is he? I must pop him. I must pop him. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to find him. I need to find him. Where is he? Where is this fuck-ass Roger capsule? That's not Roger capsule. Where is he? Let me have him. Where? Are you that? No. Where are you? I can't see shit. Is that you? It's over here. Yes. I popped Roger. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it. I will do it again. Oh, I can't do it again. But oh no, not a chance in hell. Yeah, I've heard you sing, but it ain't too well. Yeah, went to so well. You know, I realized Tegan is Southern. Cause she's got sweet tea. Like, I found that I was like reading her I was reading her dialogue. I was reading her dialogue and like they Finn asked like what she's got in her cup. And like what kind of tea, and she's got sweet tea. She has sweet tea. Why the fuck is one of the Yadas doing medical attention? Like, bro, you did that to yourself. Honestly? Same. Oh my gosh, we're at floor 5. Oh no, not a chance in hell. Yeah, I've heard you sing, but it ain't too well. Oh, yeah, you meant so well, but your song's no good round here. Oh yeah, not a chance in hell. Yeah, I've heard you sing, but it ain't too well. You have sweet tea. So, despite being from Oklahoma, I don't really like sweet tea. Or like normal teas. Gordy, I swear to God, if you get in my way. Because I think that I'm scared because both of y'all have like the same skin, so I'm like, who are you? Are you the one that stole my Twisteds, or are you the one that's in my tat? Get to the alley. Panic mode warning. Fuck it, I'm gonna lose them. I'm just gonna start losing them. I don't care. They don't deserve to have them Twisteds. Especially these Yadas. Like, don't do it! Don't do it! Get your ass back in the elevator! I'm losing them during panic now. I'm losing them during panic. Yeah, y'all both have the same skins, and this one right here, this motherfucker right here literally tried stealing my Twisteds. Your patience is running thin with Yada. I know. Why are the Yadas inside of each other? I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. Oh my gosh, it's Glisten. I can take Glisten. Dude, there's the fucking Toodles! Dude, that reminds me of like... I will gladly take that. I got it. Get back up, back up, back up. All night forever. I'm gonna like tell them to stay away from Glisten, because I got Glisten. Dude, no, get back over here. No. Someone else, please, for the love of... No. Gordy. Y'all, give me my Twisted back. Oh my god. This shit's mine now. It's mine. I didn't either. That was kind of scary. This fuck-ass Toodles literally took a band-aid without calling it out in front of me. It's giving me, like, flashbacks from last night's Toodles. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, I got stamina regen. Hey, Tisha. Hey, Rebecca. And of course, I can't see shit. There are No machines in here, so nobody should really be over here. Purple Yada grabbed aggro from Glisten to stay at Ellie. Oh. Are we dealing with a griefer? Are we dealing with a griefer Yada now? Twisteds. My fucking Twisteds. For the 40th time, this person keeps on grabbing my goddamn Twisteds. This person keeps on grabbing my goddamn Twisteds. I'm pissed off. I'm very pissed off now. That other Gordy doesn't even have distraction trinkets. He's trying to distract my Twisteds that me personally, am distracting. You, Salem here is fine. Salem here is fine. Salem's fine. They're being a good Gordy. They are the perfect example of how a Gordy should act. This fuck-ass Gordy, though, fuck you, you piece of shit. Stop taking my goddamn Twisteds, or I will crash the fuck out on you. You're fine. You get a little head pat. You, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass with my fucking mouse, I swear to God. You have, like, you have a dog plush. That's all you have. You have Vimo and dog plush. You are not the distractor. This fuck ass. Okay, I gotta grab you real quick. I did not see what you said, by the way. Just letting you know. Okay. This is the main place that I usually distract. So, because there's like multiple... What do they mean, everyone at elevator? I know it's a glitch. Oh, yeah. Because this is like, especially whenever you're distracting like some of the like, craft siblings especially, it's just like, kind of funny if I just stood in the corner like this. Oh, hell yeah, suppression, finally! Thank you, Ko-Fi Bot! We love you, Ko-Fi Bot! You guys need to thank Ko-Fi Bot, by the way. Salem, I know you're new to stream, but you always thank Ko-Fi Bot. Always thank Ko-Fi Bot. There's a band-aid here. Oh, hey, I got 3. There's a band-aid right here, by the way. Don't let Purple Yada have it, by the way. There's another band-aid right here. Don't let Purple Yada have it. That's all I ask. Okay, you're the good Gordy. You're the good Gordy. It's like in the corner over there where Toodles is, kind of. It's alright. Fuck, I think Purple Yada just got it. Because there was one in the middle, and then there was one, like, kind of right there. Pat. Yes, just thank the Ko-Fi bot always. We love you, Ko-Fi bot. Cool. Damn it. What do you mean, how dare? Wait, what happened? Wait, what happened? What happened? Gumball. Oh. Okay. Come here, Brusha. Come on, Rebecca. Asshole, don't go that way. Who else is here? I already know it's Rebecca. Oh, it's Tisha. Oh, shit. Is that good or bad, Gordy? It's bad, Gordy! Fuck off! There we go. Wow, Gordy actually telepathically listened. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Okay, these Yadas are over there. I'm going to... Broken? 6-7, guys. It's 6-7. Except you and Salem. Everyone in this run wants me to burn them except you and Salem. Specifically the purple Yada. I think, not Star Time. Oh yeah, Star Time Yada. This Yada's... Okay, I'm back and that's your problem now? Oh no, oh no, you're gonna chew on my cables again. Oh no. Oh no. That scares me. No. Guys, you gotta vote. You gotta vote with me. You gotta vote with me. I know. Yes, when I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about this one right here. I think that's Star Time. It's the same, not Star Time, Showtime. Showtime Yada's okay. They're chill. So far. It'll be fine, fine. Oh, that's... Oh wait, no, not you. I can't grab that fucking air horn. Oh, I can't grab either of them. Oh my god. I want the air horn so badly. I'm tempted. Oh my gosh, I can get an air horn now. Hell yeah. Did I just run in R&D? Was that me? I think that was me. Guess what I have? 6-7. Guess what I have? I have an air horn now. Yippee! Oh, that was you. I thought that was me. I'm not gonna lie. Because I was grabbing that air horn, and that's whenever he, activated. Whee! We gotta lose them real quick. Fuck you. Get the fuck away. Whee! Oh my god. Oh my god, why are they both grabbing the Twisteds? Brother. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why are they not getting in the goddamn elevator? Jesus. At this point, it's starting to become you. You're starting to piss me off now, too. You're, like, bro. It's like, have you not heard the saying, don't piss off the distractor? Because I bet if I wasn't here, you would have died. You would have died. You would have died. I don't know if you would have died. Probably not. You would have died immediately on like floor 5. Oh, I'm very tempted. I am going to try to grab it. There's a band-aid right there, by the way. It's in between the 2 tables inside. Give me my twisties. Actually, I'm kind of tempted to like cut her off by accident. You know? Cut her off by accident with a twisted. Twisted in a blackout. Yummy. No. No. Damn it, I didn't get any Roger capsules. I swear, if this Yada comes back with 2 goddamn hearts, I swear, you motherfucker. I should have taken that goddamn band-aid. I should have taken that goddamn band-aid. This Yada's pissing me the fuck off. Why are they still alive? Why are they still alive? I don't like that this Yada is still alive. That fuck-ass fucking... I know Toodles is trying to be a good teammate, but this Toodle, like this Yada specifically, is pissing me the fuck off. Sprout floor. Don't distract, trust. You said that outside of. Boom, boom, clack, 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 boom, boom. No. She couldn't survive. She couldn't survive for a leg. Oh, it's the mix. I was like, wait, what? Gun, my baby's got a gun. My baby's got a gun. I better run. My baby's got a gun. Goes boom, boom, clack, 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 boom, boom. She couldn't survive. She couldn't survive. Oh, yes, it's just Tegan on this floor. That's all I have. That's only... Oh, Tish is here. And Yada. Those are the only ones that I got. Holy... Oh my gosh, Sylvester's here too? We got 4? Hey, love to cricket. I don't think I like the mix like this. Where the fuck is the other one? Where are these fucking Twisteds? Oh my gosh. Where are these fuck-ass twisteds? I would like my twisteds. You know what? Sing that old song. Hydrate. I need to grab more hydration. Ooh, shit, sorry. I have to, like, check the trinkets before I go save them. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, while we're in here... Okay, we'll stretch. Oof. And I gotta grab some more... more drink. Hold on. A good juice. Oh my god, Yada actually tried to grief you? Oh wait, shit, Poodle's left? Nice. Okay. Oh shit, I hear ear clips. Was it purple Yada or blue Yada? Got him. What if I just get like a little bit too close to this fuck-ass Yada? Hold up, watch out, watch out, watch out. Damn it, Yada didn't go the same way. Damn it. You should probably look at my inventory real quick. Okay, lost Trimpo. Oh, got him back, unfortunately. I want to just get a little bit too close to that other Yada. That dude almost died. Dude almost died there, bro. Oh my gosh. You death run. I've done about 3 death runs, 3 or 4 death runs, and I've won 2 of them at least. Cause one of them was against an Astro, and I always play as like Louis in death runs, cause like I'm a good distractor and I know how to distract as Louis, so I can avoid the twisted. Oh my gosh, it's this fuck ass dog. Got that dog in me, bro. That dog goes, oh! You know, like this. My dog just goes, ow, 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 ow. I think I got everybody. Hell yeah. There is a treadmill machine right here that is looking to be V-moded. There's another treadmill machine over here that is also looking to be V-moded. Depending on if that is purple yada, I'm gonna get a little bit too close. If Gordy, you know, awakens... Is that Shrimpo? When the fuck did I lose Shrimpo? Excuse me? Get your ass over here. You're about to be grounded, dude. You? I swear I will fucking chase you around this goddamn map. I will chase you around this island. Stop feeding Gordy. Get the fuck away. Jesus. No. Get your ass away. You fucker. Get away. Get the fuck away from her. She's gonna grief that other Yada. Fuck ass Yada. Get the fuck away. Hee. My fucking twisteds, you asshole. Get your asses to the elevator, jeez. You wanna know what I'm gonna do? No. Wait, who died? Yes. Yes. She's dead because of me. Because of me! I did that! Because she kept on feeding Gordy. There's a piece of hair just blowing around. She kept on feeding Gordy. She was staying at Gordy. I decided to distract close to Gordy. Oh my gosh, it's Gordy again! I would like someone to feed Gordy at this point, though. Only reason why is because I cannot distract both Pebble and, Gordy at the same time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, those two, that is the worst combo. Back up. Thank you. Like, those two, awful combo, by the way. Horrible combo. So, wait, I'm sorry. Get over here, Astro! Okay. We're gonna go over to... Okay. Anyone around? Wait until he goes red, and then you can feed him so that it's, like, more bang for your buck, I guess. So that it's not... okay, there is a machine at Broken, by the way. Okay, Yada, you gotta go. Because one of the Gordons needs to do that machine, I think. Oh shit. Which Gordy is that? Please be the bad Gordy. Yes! Are we finally losing the bad Gordy? 4, 3, 2, oh. Kinda disappointed. Kinda disappointing there. Still love you. Still have everything you never took. You know how to find me. As you keep forgetting about it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I will be taking that. That is the best use for an air horn, in my opinion. Jeez, Raz and Daz, you guys are taking up the whole damn stage there. Okay, I think I need to find Yada. I think that said Yada. Yep, that is Yada. Oh shit, we switched off. I'll stay right here then. Can I have my twists back? What? How did... Shit. To find me, I know where to look. Oh, Joe. You're not the Gordy I was hoping. Come here, Shrimpo. Okay, I got... There's 4... Are we only at 4? No, there's 5. Okay, so Connie's here too. 69. I was like, why is Brighton's light over there? Oh, by the way, so I played with a Astro with the new skin. That shit's terrifying in a blackout. It's red. It's red. That shit is red. That's terrifying. Because every time there's a blackout, I look over and I think Brighty's here, and I'm like, huh? What? It's not yours, taking what's not yours. That's Steven. Stealing, taking what's not yours. Taking what's not yours. Taking what's not yours. Steven, stealing, taking what's not yours. Taking what's not yours. Taking what's not yours. Yeah, you do have a great item. An item that I would like. But I don't have enough inventory space because of you. Ooh, knife fight. Taking what's not yours, Gordy taking Twisteds, yeah. About to get in a knife fight with this Gordy. Holy shit! Oh, fuck. Damn it. Well, I have a free space now. Give me my Sprout. I'd very much like my Sprout, please. Be careful. No, not you. Swish, swish. To a knife fight. Knife fight. You gotta fight with a knife. Knife fight. You gotta fight for your life. Knife fight. Really, really, really sharp knife. Crazy son of a bitch. Got you. Swish, swish, swish. Knife fight. Knife fight. Knife fight. Dude. Russia is gone. Give me my twisted. Please, I want it. Son of a bitch, I'ma cut you. Swish, swish, swish. Knife fight. Knife fight. Knife fight. I'll put you in the ground. Time to pay the tax. Oh, why is my... that's concerning. Oh my god. Okay, okay. I was like, why is my mouse not moving? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Sprout again. Oh my gosh, there's a med kit. Tickle fight. Tickle fight. Is that another med kit? Bro, there's another med kit over there. Tickle fight. Da 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 tickle fight. Tickle fight. Tickle fight. Ah! No, 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 no. Get the fuck away from there. Get the fuck away from there. Ah! Get your ass over here, Yada. Jesus. Let me get Poppy real quick. What the fuck? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Is that 2 trucks? Oh my god, it's 2 trucks. 2 trucks is currently playing. 2 trucks having sex. 2 trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. 2 trucks having sex. 2 trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. 2 pickup trucks. 1 silver. Oh wait. Made, built for tough, 2 beautiful murder machines, angels in the skies. Grown men cry. 2 trucks holding hands. 2 trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. 2 trucks having sex. 2 trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Side. This easy black top. From Maniac Cop 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, Ko-Fi Bot. Thank you, Ko-Fi Bot. Thank you, Ko-Fi Bot. These 2 trucks. Not us having Gordy like twice this run so far. Trucks holding hands, the passion, more than I can withstand. 2 trucks holding hands, 2 trucks holding hands, the passion, their heart expands. God damn it, frightening. Stop causing blackouts. I cannot fucking see. Oh, I cannot see. I've decided to go with the barrage. Oh. Literally. I've got, I think that's 4. I think there should be 6 by now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Got him. Having sex. 2 drugs. Having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. My trucks having sex. 2 trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Damn. Two trucks having sex, 2 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 trucks. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Did nobody feed him? Did nobody feed him? Where is he? Where's the boy? Ooh. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Just make your way to the elevator, please. Oh my god. Oh my god. Get in, get in, get in. Oh. Oh. Survive. Chair. I'm standing on a chair. I'm standing on a chair because I earned my life. I earned my life. I earned my life. Oh my god, she just scared the shit out of me. Jesus, Shelly. I'm gonna yoink that real quick. Don't mind me. Get your ass over here. Boxy boo. Oh, Boxton. Okay, got Buxton. I gotta grab Yada. Is that Sprout? Why am I lagging? Yada, that makes me very, like, it makes it very close. I'm trying to get Yada here. The macaroni. Oh. Fucker. Underneath my name it says he earned his life. I earned my life. I earned my life. Get the fuck out of the way, Yada. Holy shit. What the fuck? You fucking idiot. Oh my god. She just led them all to y'all. She literally went, boom. Took the twisted. You fucking idiot. Oh my god, Yada. Dude. Give me my fucking twisted, dude. Give me back my twisted. Brother. I get Yada now again. Okay, I got her. I keep on losing one. I'm really hoping that this Jawbreaker can give me some stamina. Nope, it gave me speed though. Watch out. Watch out. Can I have some help gathering the Twisteds again? Okay. Because it's always that I lose like one or two. I'm gonna go around the back. This first time I was going around here, Yada fucking took the Twisteds, led them to both the Gordies, by the way. Just so you guys know, Yada led all like those Twisteds to y'all. That wasn't me. I was trying to gather them and take them from— oh shoot. You better run, you better run. Honestly, at this point, I gave up on this Yada. I'm not gonna lie. I gave up on this Yada. Alright, if we get both Pebble and Astro, are you able to take Astro from me? Because I can take Pebble. But just not both at the same time. Oh, hell yeah, air horn. Hey. Hey. I don't want to get her. I don't want her. Don't bring her to me. I ain't taking that thief. I don't want her. I don't want her. Oh shit, oh shit. You got all of them. Dude, what are you doing? Dude, turn that corner! Thank you. Or if we have the thief. I would rather not distract the thief. Now, why'd they point that out? Why'd they point that out? Honestly. Also, there's a treadmill machine over here. I'm gonna move out of the way and distract over here so that one of the Gordies can probably take it. Pleased in bed, let's climb the cliff and go jump again. Pineapples are in my head. This shit was peak Tom Tord animation. Oop. Somebody said I'm a fucking slum. Is it slum or scum? Maybe. Don't. Please do not bring that thief over to me. That scares me. I don't want that thief. I don't want her. I hate taking her. Who's distracting? Anyways. because I'm brain dead. Pineapples are in my head. Got nobody cause I'm brain dead. 5,000 footsteps. I tried grabbing that pumpkin. Woo! GG is at the elevator. Don't fucking try to... Why? What the fuck? Hello, Bucky. Oh my gosh, it's V. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta... Okay, Pebble, your job. Gather the Twisteds for me, please. That is your newly assigned role. There's a band-aid right here. Wait, did you die? Wait, did you die? No. Gordy's here? Gordy's here? Oh my god. By the way, there is a machine right here. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even see Gordy's starting text. All I saw were the pop-ups and was like, V! Yes. Yes. I'll be honest, I got no clue where Gordy is, and that scares me even more. Because that means that somebody might not be feeding him. Well, he's had that a few times. Damn it, all I have- the people that I have to worry about- Yeah, they did 9/11. Okay, only people I have to worry about right now are Gordy and Yada at this point, I think. Yeah. That's all I got to worry about. Can you say PMW whenever panic mode warning? Oh, you got tagged. Oh, you got tagged again. Okay. We're just gonna run, boys. Whee! Oh shit, Yada's still here. Bro, it looked like a fucking Scooby-Doo scene. What you Scooby-Doo? And then they just like... Yippee. Who's here? Shrimpo, Yada, Louis, Tegan. Ah! Ow. Okay. Got him. Yeah, we got Rebecca. Okay, we got Yada, Tegan, Rebecca. We got 6. Okay. Hello. Oh, you gotta go after this run. Oh man. Do 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 do. Ba ba da da ba ba da da ba 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 da da ba 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 da 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 ba da 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 ba ba da da ba 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 da da ba ba ba. Am I a toy to you, my love? Just a thing to play and then throw away. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's all we do. We just do the wow, 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 wow. Ooh. Ooh. I need a human's touch. I'm just a toy to you, my love. Just a thing to play and then throw away. I need a human's touch, but you don't need me. I need a human's touch, but I'm obsolete. Wow, 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 wow. Hey Pebble, do you want some candy? I need a human's touch, but you just can't have chocolate. But you eat a lot of chocolate. Oh shit, we're at floor 25. Oh shit, wait. Is that Eclipse? Is that Eclipse? Fuck you, Boxton. God damn it. That was Connie. I lost a heart for nothing. Just a thing to play and... Boxton, I swear, get your ass back over here. A human's touch, but... I'm up here. I have 3. I need a human's touch, but I'm obsolete. Wah, 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 wah. If you could try to sniff out a band-aid or like a med kit, could you? Because that would definitely help out a lot. Oh, never mind. Man, I don't got no backup distractor no more. Sad time. No! man. I ain't got no backup no more. There's Connie, though. PETA, they did 9/11. What? No, you motherfucker. You made me lose all my twisteds. Bro. There is a box of chocolates that I will gladly take, though. To understand it, guess I just have to be a dead man, trying not to laugh out loud. Bro, Gordy needs to get the fuck to the elevator. Lonely operator on the phone, can't call home. I don't like distracting this fast unless if it's with like Pebble. But like commons like this fucking suck ass to distract. There they go. They're scattering. This will be remembered as my best act yet. Come on, Dandy. Bro. We bowed that one. Please. This is my, like, first ever highest floor, by the way. Like, the one that I count. That's past, like, 20. And I got this to, like, I got this whenever we were playing, like, I was playing as, God damn it, it's fucking Gordy again. Man, I don't got no... I don't got no distractor to help me gather twisteds no more. I need a band-aid. Guys, I've been owied. To understand it, guess I'd have to be a dead man, trying not to laugh out loud. Come on, I know Yada heard that. Yada, Shrimpo, Sylvester, Poppy, Gordy. I have no clue where Gordy is, though. Say you don't love me. Is that a... Did it land perfectly on the, counter? I think it did. I think that box of chocolate landed right there. Yeah, it lands on the counter now. There's 2 machines in here. Dude, I am losing them so fast. Oh, what can I say to Armageddon? Won't do you no harm again. I'm just a little crazy with you, little in my mind. Motherfucker, where the hell is he? Oh my god. I got no clue where he is. Oh my gosh, there he is. This might be the time that I die. Whoa, 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 whoa. What can I say to it? I'm just... Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. Oh my god. Ugh. Why didn't they feed him? There was plenty candy around. I had no clue where he was. They knew where he was. Why did nobody feed him? Well, I think 26 floors is considered a good run, at least. That averaged about 24, or what? That averaged about 20 floors per run. Just a little bit. Oh my god, though. I think that's probably gonna be my last. I'm gonna be honest, that might be my last. We streamed for 3 hours, which is still pretty good. So let's just look for a ratie. Do 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 do. Imagine they're playing with Salem Cat. Are they playing with Salem Cat? Let me check. It would be hilarious if I just rated them and they were playing with Salem Cat. Wait, I think they're just doing a... Dang. They are doing a solo. They don't know what they're... They don't know what they're... Wait, they don't know what they're doing? Is this their first, like... Oh yeah, they don't know how to run that much. Okay, let's raid them then. I hope y'all have a nice day, night, whatever time it is for you. Be cool, be nice to the raidie. Have a fun night. Stay safe. You know, do your thing. You gotta do your dance. You gotta go. Yippee. Anyways, I'm tired.